Hi, I'm Chef Gail Sokol and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're getting ready for Halloween. We're going to make a Halloween chocolate peanut butter tart, a big chocolate peanut butter tart. So we're making this in a 10-inch round false bottom pan, and it is so easy. And if you don't want to do it for Halloween, you just leave the Halloween accoutrement toppings off. But it's great for any type of a get-together if it doesn't if it doesn't get out of your house first, because it is spectacular. You're going to want to eat it all yourself. Trust me. But before we get started, I'd like you to click that notification button. I want you to become a subscriber, and I don't want you to miss any of my tips or videos because they're pretty cool. And I love having you here with me. I really, really do. It means a lot. It's a pleasure. Okay, so I have preheated my oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, and it only takes 10 minutes to actually, quote unquote, bake this tart, because it's really not a baked tart. It's something that we use our refrigerator and chilling for, so it's super easy. So what I have here is I've ground up 2 cups of chocolate sandwich cookies, any type of a chocolate cream-filled cookie that you like. It's got to be chocolate because you want that spooky, dark chocolate Halloween-y feel. So I ground these up really, really good in the food processor, okay? And then I'm putting in 7 tablespoons of unsalted butter that I have melted in the microwave. Watch your microwave, because your microwave, if you have it too high, will spatter everything. So make sure you watch, depending on how much power. I think I put mine on half power for like 20 seconds, and that seemed to do the trick. All right, so you're going to mix this up. And it's going to look like wet sand, okay? Similar to when you're at the beach and you're closer to the water. And you can see that it is going to be nice and wet, and you can make your sand castles. So instead of a sand castle, we are going to take our false bottom 10-inch false bottom tart pan. We've sprayed it with nonstick cooking spray, and I put it in a pizza pan that I lined with aluminum foil, or you can put parchment, or you don't even have to line it at all. But I like to do that. And then I'm going to push these out, push this out. You can use your hands. I'm going to end up using my hands. I always do, because your hands are your best tool. And you're going to go up as high as you can on the sides, but you don't have to go up all the way if you don't want to, because your filling isn't going to be that high. Remember, it's going to be a peanut butter filling, but it's not going to come up super, super thick, because we also have a chocolate topping, so we need to have room for that. So just give this a twirl. The foil really helps twirl it, so just give it a push. You can also use a measuring cup, like a solid measuring cup, and push in there, which I like to use too. You don't have to spray it with nonstick cooking spray or anything. You just want to push it on your cookie crumbs. And these are pretty wet, so we're pushing it up. You can see I'm getting up maybe half up the sides, so do that. And this is 10-inch. It's going to feed a good number of people, and it's pretty rich. So if you have any goblins coming over for Halloween, or you're having a get-together that's not Halloween, very elegant dessert that can be turned into a Halloween dessert super, super quickly. Okay, so I'm going up, and it will be relatively thick on the bottom and relatively thinner on the sides. Just make sure you have something going up on each little sort of, tulip edge when it goes in. It's fluted, the little flutings. You want to make sure you go up. So I'm going around real carefully, and I'm really looking to make sure that I've filled each little area, because that's the whole beauty of this tart. When you take it out of the pan and cut it, it's going to look really, really pretty with the fluting. Not that anyone's going to notice. They're just going to notice the gorgeous, shiny chocolate top, and they're going to be really surprised when they see that beautiful, beautiful peanut butter filling. All right, into the oven, 325 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes, but you want to make sure after 10, you're going to let it cool down completely, and it's going to solidify as it cools. See you back. So my tart shell came out of the oven, and the cookies sort of melted down because of the butter. So while it's hot, take a small teaspoon and just push the sides back up. Go all the way around, push the sides back up, wherever it came down, and then just flatten them out. And it will be very soft, but it will harden as it cools, okay? So just go around and do that all around. And then we're going to be ready for our filling. And we don't want to put our filling in when it's hot. We need to make sure that the tart shell is actually cool before we put our filling in. All right, so I'm going to continue to do this, and I'll see you back when we're ready to make our filling. So my chocolate crumb crust came out of the oven, and you saw me push up with a spoon the sides that had come down, and I let it cool. And now I want it to get a little firmer because it didn't cool fast enough for moi. So you can either put it in the freezer for 10 minutes or the refrigerator. I just have it in the refrigerator for a little while until I make my peanut butter filling and then the chocolate yum topping. So we're going to make the ganache topping first because I want it to cool down enough that it's not going to melt the butter and melt down the peanut butter in the filling. So what I've done here, and I've made it ahead so we are ready to go, and you've seen me do this many, many times. You take 1 cup of heavy cream, you put it into a saucepan, and I added 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar and a tablespoon of light corn syrup. Light corn syrup is going to give it a sheen. It's going to look like a fudgy ice cream rink, or I'm sorry, ice pond that you could skate on, a skating pond, I meant to say, because it's going to be so shiny. And then I'm going to bring it to a boil. All right, so 1 cup of heavy cream, tablespoon of granulated sugar, tablespoon of corn syrup, light corn syrup, bring into a rolling boil, take it off the heat, and then put in 1.5 cups of high quality chocolate chips. And then whisk away, and that's what you got, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ganache topping. So I'm putting that aside because my topping is done. And now I'm going to leave my crust in the fridge for a little while until it does get nice and chilled. And in the bowl of an electric mixer, I have nothing right now. I am going to put a few different things first. I'm going to put 1 cup of pretty soft, plain, creamy, smooth peanut butter. Now, if you like it fully chunky, you can go chunky. Go chunky, everybody. But some people don't like nuts in their chocolate peanut butter tart. I know I have some family members that don't like it. So I don't do it. But if you want to, by all means, chunk away. All right, do it. You can even put, more if you want. You can even put more chopped peanuts in there or any type of nut you want. But why wouldn't you do peanut? You could even use almond butter in this if you didn't want to use peanut butter, okay? So 1 cup of peanut butter that I just kept at room temperature for a little while. I always keep my peanut butter at room temperature anyway. I have 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, and I just brought that to room temperature. It just gives it a really nice creaminess that I really love in my filling. And then I have 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter that's nice and softened. And you can see it's really nice and softened, okay? So I put that in there. You want everything to blend seamlessly so that it makes this lovely filling. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Make sure it's pure because it tastes better, higher quality, and actually won't have, I always feel like it has a medicinal flavor to it. And my last ingredient that I almost forgot is 2 tablespoons of light corn syrup. Again, you're going to get a really nice, just like a little light sweetness in there, and it really helps just to cut down on the super little bit of saltiness in the peanut butter. I'm going to use my paddle attachment. You don't want your whip. You don't want to whip it. You just want to blend it. Now I'm going to blend it together on medium-high speed. And then I've got 3/4 of a cup of confectioner's sugar, powdered sugar. Don't use granulated because it'll be grainy. I put it through a sieve. So if it's lumpy, and some confectioner's sugar are, even though some of them have cornstarch in them to prevent lumps during manufacturing, you still may want to put it through a sieve or sifter. Now I've got this really nice creamy thing going on, but it doesn't have any body to it. So we do need the confectioner's sugar for body. You can see it's got this loveliness. I'll show you. See, it's really nice. It's delicious. But it really still needs that little bit more of sweetness and body, a little bit more structure. And the confectioner's sugar is going to give that to us. All right. So I'm just going to clean off my paddle and get down the sides. And then I'm going to slowly put in this 3/4 of a cup of sifted confectioner's sugar, okay? And I would do that on low speed unless you want to be wearing it, and I don't want to be wearing it. I've done that already. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to add it. And then once it's incorporated, we can give it a little bit of a higher powered mixing so that it all gets in there. And then that's our filling, folks. That's it. And then we're going to go get our crust, our crumb crust, and get that in there. So you can just keep putting this in there. Just going to bang that out. Get that all in there. Powdered sugar sticks. It's like almost like powder. That's why they call it powdered sugar. And it really, you know what powdered sugar is? Confectioner's sugar. A lot of people don't know this. It's this granulated sugar, and it's pulverized. Can you make your own? You can try it in a food processor, but it's never going to be as powdered as it would be in a food manufacturer would do it. So I'm going to just blast it for a second. And there's our beautiful filling. It lightened the filling. It's not so heavy duty peanut butter. You know, it's a little bit lighter. You see that? Real nice. So I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to clean off my paddle with my tongue. No, I don't want to do that. I may want to do that, but you're here, so I want to be polite. Fill the crust because it's so good. You will so love this, like I said, for Halloween or anytime. So up until now, we're doing this. This is a any day, anytime chocolate peanut butter crust. What makes peanut butter tart? What makes it Halloween is what we're going to do with it. Once we have the ganache topping on top and let it set, then you're really going to see me go Halloween on it. So I'm going to go around the bottom. Remember, there's always that little, see that little hidden sugar? We want to get you guys into the filling. And the filling is a little stiff. You want it stiff. If it wasn't stiff, it would not make a nice clean cut. And I'm all about the cut. You know, after you make your tart, if you cut it, if it doesn't have a nice clean cut, I'm very disappointed. Chef Gail's very disappointed. So we really need a clean cut. I'm going to go get my tart. So I just got my crust, and now I'm going to put my filling in, and I'm just going to gently put it on because it's very, very, very stiff. Remember, I told you that it would be. So you're just going to dollop it on, and then we're going to spread it with an offset spatula. All right. And then we're going to chill it until we, actually, we're going to pour our ganache right on top, and then we're going to chill it for a couple hours or even overnight before we make some Halloween greatness out of it. See how I'm just sort of spreading it, almost like a filling, or like you would be spreading a frosting, because it's almost like a frost. And I'm going to just rotate, and I'm just going to try to get it even all around the edges. Use your little offset spatula like you would hands of a clock, and start in the middle, and then just rotate it around. All right. And then just sort of smear it like you would, like a And it's so nice and thick. This is exactly what you want. You don't want it runny. Again, it's all about the slice, baby. All about the slice. I got a little bit over there. I want to grab that. I had a little bit of filling, which I did not want to waste. All right, so once I do this, I want to, and get it as smooth as possible, because we're going to pour our cooled ganache. And we don't want our ganache cooled. We just want it left at room temperature, just so it cools down enough that it's not going to melt out the butter that's been softened in our filling. Okay, you see this? This is awesome. Do I sound scary for Halloween? Yeah. Okay, don't get me started. All right, perfect. Now I'm going to take this, and whenever you have ganache that's been sitting for a minute or two, whisk it. Always use a whisk. And once you're done whisking it, get another rubber spatula, and I'm going to pour. All right, I'm just going to pour at the center and then just go around. Just enough. And it should almost spread itself. And use the whole thing. It may sound like, oh, I think I have too much. It may seem like you have too much. You don't. There's never too much ganache. You can never have too much ganache. Come on. Do you know me already? Come on. So do the whole thing. Pour it on. Oh, yeah. Pour it, and then just get the rest out. All right, let me scrape around the inside there. Save some for you to take a spoonful because it's amazing. All right. All right, now I have another offset, because I always have another offset ready. And I'm going to spread this very gently. And if you see any air bubbles, just because you were whisking, just sort of pop them a little bit. Just when you move it, there you go. They just sort of pop. This is lovely. And now, into the fridge for, could be overnight, several hours. You want this ganache to be really firm before we go crazy for Halloween. See you back. So my Halloween chocolate peanut butter tart has been unmolded, and it's gorgeous. And I put it on a black platter because it's very Halloween-y. And now we get to decorate it. Very Halloween. And I thought what might be fun is to make a spider web with spiders. And the one thing in the world I don't like is spiders. So this is going to be very hard. I may get some, like, you know, goosebumps when I do this. So just know that. Just feel for me. So over 2 double boilers, I have melted some white candy melts, or you can even use white chocolate, since this will be stored in the refrigerator. If you do not use white candy melts, because that's a confectionery coating. It doesn't need to be tempered. Tempered is a process that's a little difficult, and it's very hard. Even for professional pastry chefs, it's hard to do, to get the chocolate to stay bright and not get sort of like a cloudy look. And break with a snap. So I took about a 1 inch of water, brought it to a boil, and then took a bowl with my white candy melts over it, or my confectionery coating, and I melted it. So it looks nice and melted. I don't have one lump or bump. You don't want to, because we're going to push it through a pastry bag. And if it gets stuck, we can't make our spider web. That never happens to real spiders, right? They never get like a, I don't know, a blockage or whatever. And I also have some milk chocolate for the legs of the spider that I melted in another double boiler over another pot. But I want this to get a little thicker for the legs. I don't want them to spread out. So that's why I'm leaving it off the water, so it gets a little bit more viscous. All right, so then I went looking around in the store, and I found like malted milk balls, little, you know, like little ones. And they look like they're going to be really big, ugly spiders. So just know that. And then I got some purple, sort of cool purple sugar balls. And I thought we'd make purple spiders, which I hope in the real world does not exist. Okay, I hope. So I have a glass and I have a pastry bag fitted with a small plain tip, or you can even take a pastry bag or a freezer bag, just cut the tip off very little, because spider webs are sort of delicate. They're not thick, and we want to make sure that we get a delicate look to it. We want it to look realistic, right? We want to scare people before they eat it. And I'm going to put it in my cup or my glass so that when I pour my chocolate in there, it will stay, because I don't have as many arms and legs as a spider, so I need a little help. And then in this one, I took a slightly smaller pastry tip, and what you would do is pastry tip in another bag for my legs, for my milk chocolate. It sounds so funny to say that. So I'm going to get that ready to accept the chocolate. All right, so first I'm going to let me go get a kitchen towel. I'm just going to go get one real quick, because the key to melting chocolate over a double boiler is you don't want the water to get into the chocolate or anywhere near our tart. So I'm going to move my hot water over, and I'm going to dry the bottom really, really well. And then I'm going to pour it, and I brought a spatula in case I need it, but I'm going to pour it in here. And it's a very small opening, so I'm hoping I can get it all in here. I might need that little bit of help here. There you go. See, I told you I need extra arms. So I'm just going to get all this in here. And we don't need that much. You want to melt whatever you think you're going to decorate. Like if you're going to make several spider webs, we're just going to make one big one. That's it. I thought it might be fun. And I've been drawing these on paper with a pen just to practice, to see what the spider should look like, and if it, yeah. So I really don't like spiders. This is really hard for me, I probably should figure this out. But these are going to be all edible spiders, so nothing to worry about. No bites, no bites. They're not going to bite you. And you can make anything you want. You don't have to make spiders. So you can see it's dripping out a little bit. So that's why the glass is there. So I'm going to fold it up. I'm going to twist the end a little bit, because once I get going, this doesn't stop. So I sort of want to guide it. So I'm going to do like a crisscross, like an X. I'm going to move my candies over. So I'm just going to go down the middle, straight down the middle, stop. Straight across to make an X. Doesn't have to be perfect. Spiders aren't even perfect, but they're beautiful, right? And then I'm going to do it again 45 degrees away. And if it breaks a little bit, don't worry about it. Spider webs do that. And then we're going to make arcs. Arc, 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 okay? All the way around. And we're going to try to make the spider web like that. Arc. And if it, like I said, if it breaks, a lot of spider webs break. No worries. No worries. If we humans are not perfect, neither are spiders. And you can also cover up any mistakes you have with a spider, right? You can actually get a spider on top of the chocolate to cover it up, because we're going to decorate with the spiders. So there we go. Now I'm going to do a second row of arcs. So sort of just bend it and arc it, because that's what spider webs have. They're all different if you've ever looked at them. Like if you ever go to a nature preserve, you can see they all look different. And we can even make a third one if we want. We might. So we might go like there and there. So just make an arc wherever you want. There's many, many ways to make spider webs. And whatever you do is going to look very webby. Very webby. And I see spider webs all the time when I walk in this nature preserve. I also see them in my house because I don't always dust enough. All right, our spider web is done. Put the white chocolate down, Chef Sokol. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it down, all right, into the cup. Now, we're going to get our spiders situated. Now, let's see where we're going to put them. We have our milk chocolate. And I have milk chocolate only because my candy is milk chocolate. If you have dark chocolate, chocolate balls, whatever you buy, because they don't have to be malted milk balls, it could be anything else you want, you can actually get dark chocolate. It's just that it's a nice contrast because we have dark chocolate already on our beautiful peanut butter chocolate tart. So this is a fun thing to do for Halloween. I'm just going to put a little bit in here. I don't need a lot. Remember, we're making legs. Legs. Only 8 legs. Spiders have 8 legs. They are arachnids, and they scare the bejesus out of me. So don't write me about spiders. I don't want to see, or don't send me spider pictures. So I'm going to put in just a little bit more. If I need more, I will add more. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this chocolate piping bag to adhere. Even though the white chocolate is wet, I want to make sure that we get the right amount of stickage. You know, we want to stick these malted milk balls on. So we're going to make big spiders. Whoa. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to put it somewhere, and I'll just put it down randomly because you want them to stick. So we're going to do the spider bodies first, because why wouldn't you, right? Why wouldn't you? And if it cracks your white chocolate, because your white chocolate will actually, you know, like firm up almost immediately, because that's why it's called confectionery coating, because it sets up real quick, and that's good. So we're just going to do another ugly spider, but they are cute. They're cute. So spiders, I don't know if they share webs. I don't know. I think usually the female eats anybody. They wrap them up with the web. It's sort of a process. And then they come back and have them later. Oh, I sound like I'm losing it, right? So I'm going to put a little bit on the purple one, and I'm just going to put them around too. Just a little dab. Because I want them to adhere. And you can put as many as you want. Let's do another purple one. And I always feel that asymmetry is better. You don't want it to be too symmetrical. Let's do it like a little bit of a smaller body over this one. You know, some spiders have a big sort of fat butt. It looks like a butt, but it's not. And now we're going to do the legs. Okay, and I have a little wet paper towel just in case I have to wipe a little. All right, so the legs you're going to do 4 like this. So 2 on this side, 2 on this side going this way. And then 2 going down, and then another 2 going down because they have 8 legs. So here I go. So I'm going to do this one and do it from the middle. So from the middle part of the body, we're going to make the legs long and ugly. Okay? Ooh, it does look like spider legs. I'm actually getting chills, everybody. I'm getting chills. Oh boy. Okay, that's a big spider. I don't like that. And then I'm going to go. So I have to curve it down. Okay, down. Oh, yeah. Okay. One spider down. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. Ooh, that one's got a claw. All right. I'm going to move around. Do it from the middle, because it looks more realistic if you do it from the middle. And if you want, you can look on the web or look at real spider webs and see how they're actually made. Spiders are like unbelievable. You go to try to get rid of them and they move, they go into different positions, right? So they are pretty spry. So there's 2 spiders, and then we're going to do the same here. And these are going to have chocolate legs, but have purple bodies. So these are like space spiders, all right? I don't know, that we're getting a little funky, but this is, you can see how cute this is, right? For Halloween party for adults or kids, or just for fun. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And then we have one more. And we may do one more. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll do a baby spider. Baby spiders are still spiders. I can't help it. They're still spiders. You say the word spider and it gets me every time. Oh, we don't want those touching. Nope. I don't think spiders get along with other spiders, but they must at some point just to have baby spiders, right? Somebody's got to be getting along with somebody. And then doesn't the female eat the male spider? Like that's not a nice thing to do, right? Oh, there's a baby spider. Now we got to make the legs a little bit shorter. But they do take after the mommy. So we just want to get them in there. Oh, these are so cute and so creepy at the same time. Always from the middle, so you always want to take those last two. So you want to make sure everyone's got 8 legs, all right? So, voila. And if you want to make eyes, you can, but you know, spiders, I hate to say this if some of you don't know this, but they have many eyes. That's another thing. 6 eyes, maybe more, I don't know. I don't want to make them. But if you want to make eyes, you can. So what I recommend is you make this spider Halloween chocolate peanut butter tart. You can also make chompers or whatever their little, so the way they grab and eat things and do what they like to do and wrap their food up and stuff it in a, you know, along the web for later, like our, you know, like we put stuff in the cabinet. That's what spiders do. So I'd love it if you make this chocolate peanut butter tart for Halloween or anytime. I want you to become a subscriber. Until next time.